Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another All the Letters Weekly. This time we're recapping week 5 and moving on to week 6. So week 5 is over. Week 6 has already started. We had games on Thursday. It's Sunday morning. We got a game going on right now. And this is the time slot I found to record. So sorry for being late again, but yeah. Another week, I take another loss. It's starting to become a theme. I'm 1-5. Yeah, it's kind of depressing, man. But it's sad. It hurts every week, and this week's hurt comes straight from Anthony DeSerto. So I talked my crap last week. You kicked my butt. You did it in a blowout. But yeah, even though I'm not carrying my weight, I got these other dads carrying. So dads went 4-2 on the week against the Suns. There's still one more week or 2 more weeks for you guys to try and make up some room. That is you Suns. Because right now, the dads are sitting at 18-12 on the season. And like always, dads, let's go 6-0. We got 2 more weeks to do it. We got this week, and then next week we play against our own Suns. So let's try and go 6-0. I'll try and do my part. I promise. I'll try harder. With that, let's move on to the highs and the lows. Highs and lows. This week's game of the week is going to go to Coach Z and Leo. This was a tight one. This was our closest game of the week. I think it was a separation of like 14 or 15 points. But Rashad White and Dak led Coach Z's team to a 145-143 victory over Leo. So congrats, Coach Z. This was a tight one. I think it went all the way down to right at the end there. But with Rashad White being the starting lineup for Bucky Irvin being down, he carried Coach Z's team over the top. Move on to the biggest blowout and the high score on the week. So these came in the same game. If you can't tell by my body language, it was against me. Anthony DeSerto, you're going to get the biggest blowout of the week, and you also got high score. Good job, dude. So Anthony dogged my team by 63 points. The score was 180-117. It was a blowout win for DeSerto. I do think that this is the first time, at least this season, but this is the first time that we had a person set a perfect lineup. That means basically every player that he should have played in the position spot that they were in, he did. He was 100% perfect this week. And that got you a high score, and it got you a big blowout win. So congrats. Hoping to turn it around. Maybe I'll see you in the championship. But you put me at 1-5 this week. So good job, DeSerto. You've been stepping it up. You and your dad, man. You guys have been killing it. So good job. Now on to the lows. We usually do the bench work blunder, so we'll stick with that. But this week we did not have too many candidates. I usually try to find some guys that would have changed the outcome of games, that would have changed a loss to a win. But we didn't really have that this week. I had Jordan Addison score 15 points on my bench. That's 2 weeks in a row that I kept him on my bench, and he just balled out. Well, not balled out, but he was serviceable. But I still would have lost my game. So we're going to turn the attention to a specific game, because in this game, both teams had some pretty big scores on their bench. This was our closest game of the week. It was only separated by 14 points. We talked about it in the game of the week, and in that game, Coach Z had Darren Waller and Bill Krosky Merritt, combined for 45 points on his bench. And on the other side of that game, Leo had Matt Stafford and Rashid Shaheed combined for 52 points on his bench. So it was a close game already. If either one of those guys play those bench players, it would have even been closer. Might have changed the outcome depending on the combination. But in a close game, that's a lot of points to be leaving on the bench. So we're just going to go ahead and point the bench work spotlight over to our game of the week with 45 points out of Darren Waller and Bill Krosky on Coach Z, and Rashid Shaheed and Matt Stafford for 52 points on Leo's bench. So with that, we'll move on to the Hall of Shame. I got a little thing I wrote out here. So this is fun. It is challenging also. But here we go. Another week, another Hall of Shamer. When it comes to football, this dude is a total gamer. Thursdays, Saturdays, and sometimes on Friday. But in week 5, shorty, it was not your birthday. Levi Clark, your 104-point performance has cemented your legacy in the father-son fantasy football leagues Hall of Shame. Welcome, Big Red. You are our newest Hall of Shamer. Now, it's on to the top dogs. So with the top dogs, we did have some shuffling this week, guys. And a combined 334-point performance by these guys has propelled them up 2 spots on our leaderboard. These guys, with that 334 points, these guys are going to reclaim. Yes, I said reclaim their spot as the Father-Son League top dogs. The DeSertos have a combined 1,423.10 points, reestablishing them as our current and returning top dogs. So congrats to the DeSertos. Like I said, there was some shuffling. That bumps the Rizzos off of that top spot, puts them in second place with 1394. The Clarks are now in third with 1382. Isaac and myself are in fourth place with 1312. The Zaleznaks are in fifth with 1197. And in last place are Kohler Giovanni's. So yeah, congrats to the DeSertos for regaining your spot. You guys both did amazing this week. 334 points between the two of you. That's something crazy. So good job. Keep up the good work. But everybody else, including myself, I need to step up big time. But everybody else, I put on the graphic there in red how far we are from that top spot. You guys see. You see what we got to do. So let's step our game up and get these guys back down to earth. All right. The week 6 preview. In week 6, like I said, we only got 2 more weeks of father versus son competition. So sons, make sure you bring it. Step your game up. Try and even out that father-son tracker. I think right now, if I remember right, you're behind like 4 or 5 games or something like that. So good luck. Try and stay competitive. But in week 6, we got myself and Isaac. We're going to be taking on the newcomers in the Kohler Giovanni's. So good luck to everybody this week except for Dom. Dom, this is the only crap I'm going to be talking. We're both 1-4. I plan on being 2-4 this week. But good luck. I'm going to kick your butt. The Zaleznaks are going to be taking on the Clarks. And then in another... with the Zaleznaks, I think Devin, you're the only other 1-4 team. So... it's a fun club to be a part of, huh? And moving on in another installment of the Italian Grit, the Battle of the Italians, the other Italians. We got the Rizzos are going to face off against our top dogs in the DeSertos. So that one's got to be personal, guys. The Rizzos, you guys were just our top dog last week, and now the DeSertos came and knocked you back down to earth. So good luck, guys. I mean, hopefully no real blood is shed, but I must stay clear of the docks, all right? That's going to wrap up week 5. Congrats to our new top dogs, the DeSertos. Good job, Anthony, kicking my butt. Good luck to everybody. Daz, let's go 6-0. Make sure you're checking your lineups consistently. Make sure you're checking waiver wire consistently. Make sure you're checking these early matchups. yeah, good luck to everybody but Dom. Until next week, good luck.